New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. On behalf of the entire prayer team at New Thought Media Network, we thank you for joining us on this broadcast. You can catch New Thought Media Network prayer time at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And now, let's center ourselves in the words of Ernest Holmes. We must put meaning and belief into our prayers. It is the meaning and mindfulness that is the nexus from which our words come to life.
Good evening, dear ones, and welcome to New Thought Media's evening prayers. This is Reverend Z sitting in with you tonight. And as always, I'm extremely glad to be here with you and looking forward to another night of soul-felt prayers. I'd like to just say it was a wonderful day, and I want to give a shout out to Suzanne tonight for hanging in with us, and thanks for your support, and to all the other ones that are here tonight. Well, today was another good day, and I've been into this habit for the last few days of getting up really early and taking my dog for a walk. And this morning, while I was out for my walk and I was watching the beautiful sunrise and the birds were singing and everything was in perfect order, I thought to myself, all things are happening according to law, and that the law is always in effect. And so I got to thinking about that today, and the law of correspondence came into my mind. Now, just to give a refresh of the law of correspondence means as above, so below. And for every action, there's a reaction. And so when we look at life in terms of correspondence, the first thing that comes to mind, I think, is this whole idea about what am I focusing on? And what am I getting in return? And sometimes we're not really clear on what we're focusing on or what we are putting our intentions to, because we're scattered or we got all kinds of things going on. But because the law is always in effect, the law does not really take that into consideration, that you're not focusing or you allowing yourself to wander, if you will, because the law will go into effect. So it made me think this morning as I saw the sunrise, it operates on a law. As we spin around on our axis and there's a law of when the sun comes up and when the sun goes down. And that law is, and it is a correspondence to the position of the earth as it spins on its axis. And so in that same light, in that same guidepost, our lives are like that earth and sun relationship and the correspondence between night and day and hot and cold and all those different ends of the spectrum come into play. Now, neither one of these, hot or cold, morning or night, has any ill effect or has any punitive damage to them, if you will, because oftentimes we look at opposites as being diametrically opposed to one another, as opposed to just looking at them as two ends of a spectrum. And so in that moment, I thought the law is always in effect. And if that is true, and nature seems to hold that true, then we need to, everyone needs to really have an intention for what we want to do. As you may have noticed on the introduction, one of Ernest Holmes is saying is we must be clear and put power in our words by the clarity of our intentions and by the fervor of our faith and our belief. And so I think this whole idea of leaning into the law, knowing that it is always in effect, it gives us the opportunity to take advantage of it. To allow it to propel us to places where we want to be, and distract us or keep us away from those places that we don't want to be. And that's either physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, because we have to begin to operate on all four of these wheels, if you will, to keep ourselves balanced, to keep ourselves moving in the right directions, to keep ourselves at this point where we are moving in a fashion where we are causing the least amount of friction in our lives. And so, with that being said, I think tonight's prayer gives me this feeling that it is now time to call forth this whole idea of living in the law or living in the spirit. And so, as we just contemplate the spirit and what it is and what it does and how it acts and operates, we know that there is a place for all of us. And so it is in that allness that we go into prayer. And so as we take this time right here, right now, this eternal moment that is bound by law, the law that allowed the creative force in the universe to speak the universe into existence with the command be, and it was. And knowing that we are one with that divine mind, we have that same power, that same heartfelt intellect to say to a thing, be, and it will become. And as we rely on that, and as we begin to better understand that, because that is law. And when we begin to understand and operate and move within the bounds of the law, all things are possible. All things are able to be created in our mind and manifested in reality just by leaning on the law. And so right here, right now, I know that for me and everyone on this call and everyone who may hear this recording later, we are leaning on the law because the law is always in effect. And as we lean on this law, we begin to realize our strength, our power, our intuitive hits, our ability to withstand the storm and to come out on the other side because we are leaning on the law of spirit, knowing that it will never fail and knowing that it always provides what is needed at the right time, in the right place, in the right amount. Oh, and so as we just take that in and allow it to marinate in every aspect of our being, we come forth standing tall, ready, willing, and able to fight the good fight, as they say, the ability to put on our best suit and tie and best shirt and dress, shoes, and move forward with confidence, with a smile on our face, knowing that we are in the right place at the right time with the law on our side. And that law being none other than the mind of God itself. And so with that kind of support, with that kind of foundation we're standing on, I just give thanks. I give thanks to know that there's a law called gravity that does not allow me to float off the planet. And I know that there's a law of electricity that allows us to have this conversation over the airways right now. And this law is always in effect. And so I give thanks for that, knowing that at any moment in time, I can tap into the law, the mind of God, the heart of God, the spirit of God, and be uplifted and transported to another place in time, even if it's in my mind that creates the future. And so it is in this Thanksgiving that I just declare right here, right now, that these words are casted in that law, in a law that never fails, in a law that always produces according to the seeds that are planted. And so right here, right now, we are planting seeds of greatness. We're planting seeds of enlightenment. We're planting seeds of togetherness and harmony and peace and joy, all those things needed to keep the balance of life moving forward. And so in that balance, in that grace, in that love, in that understanding, in that power, and in that knowledge of the divine, I release these words knowing that this prayer has already been received in the mind of God and is being acted upon and will come back in full force in our lives, in the lives of our loved ones, and in the lives of this entire planet. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Amen. Well, thank you, everyone that's here, and I appreciate you being here tonight. As you may have saw in the beginning there, we got a new team together, and everyone's coming on board, and we got some good things planned. I said it before. And so we are having a great time on presenting this program and bringing it to the community. And so one thing we want you to know, if you have a prayer request, please send all prayer requests to prayer@ntmedia.org, and we will receive those prayers and we will pray on them for the week. And we will be looking for your prayers if you have any needs. So please send those forward. And additionally, if if to support the station, if you so desire, please send any donations to help us with this broadcast and some new programming we got coming on. We're going to have some new music programs coming on and some talk shows coming on. We're really looking to create a network of positive interaction and music and all things that are uplifting to the human spirit. So please feel free to donate at the link on the bottom of the screen. And as always, it's been a wonderful evening. And as we look forward to the end, I know that we're ready for tomorrow. We're going to bed with that mind set on a beautiful sunrise tomorrow. And so I want to say thanks to everyone and peace and blessings, and we'll see you soon.
On behalf of the New Thought Media Network, thank you for being with us for this special prayer broadcast. We look forward to being with you again soon, 8:15 a.m. or 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then, peace and blessings.